Good morning, gentlemen and ladies. You never know. Time for another shaving video. This time we're going to do something a little different. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I'm a big proponent of double-edged shaving with a safety razor, and I prefer to use my old vintage safety razors, like the Gillette Fat Boys right here from, what was it, 1958 and 1960. There's the old cruddy 1960 Fat Boy that everybody wants me to have replated and cleaned. I'm not gonna do it. I got this pretty gold one here, look. Anyway, yes, you can get your old razors replated and cleaned up and re-chromed or gold plated or rhodium plated, anything. So if this nasty, if you've got a nasty handle, and who doesn't, you can have it replated and cleaned up. Maybe someday I will. I'll start a GoFundMe campaign to clean his razor. Anyway, so today is something different, as I said. In the past, I've reviewed modern razors because they said, hey, will you review it? And I said, sure. So they sent me this Pace 6 with all the blades on it. And this time somebody contacted me and they had a brand new razor idea and design and asked if I would review it. And so I said, sure, send it to me. So he sent me the prototype. It's the Inscape Razor, I-N-S-C-A-P-E, Razor, R-A-Z-O-R, and I'll link down below to his Facebook page. And so it's just in the prototype stage right now. He's trying to get funding to back it, and I thought, well, heck, I'll try it out. And here it is. This is the Inscape Razor. Check it out. It's plastic, but it's a double-edged safety razor. You see that? Double-edged safety razor that's made completely of plastic. And according to him, his name is Mike, it's a very green product. I guess this thing is 100% recyclable if it ever breaks down on you or you get tired of the color. I guess it does come in different colors. He sent me this one, and let me show you how it works. I'm going to show you a little close-up of how it came in the box and a little bit of how the mechanism works right now. All right, let's take a look at the razor as it came in the box. So this is just a prototype of the razor, and I'll show you the two pieces that were in the box. So this is the top portion, and here is the handle. Get this box out of the way now. So here it is. This is what it looks like. It's made out of plastic, and like I said, this is just the prototype. And Mike, the guy who came up with the concept for this thing, told me that it's good for a couple of uses as is right now as just the prototype. But then I assume that the real production models will last and last and last. But it's made out of plastic, and it's got like a nice kind of almost a rubbery texture to it. It's not rubbery, but it's got that kind of a matte texture to it, and it feels like that all the way around. So here's the different pieces of it. I'm going to show you, see this little button here? There's a button on the other side. It's a very simple design. It's very kind of elegant, almost like it was designed by Apple or Johnny Ive or something, kind of futuristic. And it's a rather large handle. As you can see, I can get my hand all the way around it. I'll show you the size comparison. So here's that Pace, what was it called? That razor I reviewed in another one. See, so if I put them kind of like that, you can see that the Inscape Razor is just a little bit longer, and it's got like kind of this ergonomic handle design. Here's my old Gillette Mach 3. Look at that, headless. Poor old neglected Gillette, but I still keep him in the drawer. Sad. Seen a lot of miles. This, you know what? This may even be a vintage now. This may be a vintage 90s Gillette Mach 3. I'll sell that sucker on eBay for $10. Anyway, so there's the size difference between the headless Mach 3 and the Inscape. So let me show you how the Inscape works as far as the function goes. So you just press the button, watch this, and the top pops off. So there's the interior, and there's the blade right there. So what you do is, this is the blade that came with it, so it doesn't have any markings on it. You just see this little guide right here. You just place the blade down like that. This is where the design... See, he wanted to get some feedback on his design. I think I would have him do a little bit more of a guide, like sticking up. He has, see those little circles right there?
they kind of help guide it. So maybe you're supposed to put it in on the handle first instead of that. But let's try it like this. So if I put it down like that, it kind of positions itself. And then you just press down until it clicks. There's no adjustment, it's just as is. I don't know what the aggressiveness is. There's a safety bar on each side, as there are in a lot of double-edged safety razors. And that's how much blade is showing, if you can see that. So I'll try it out in a second. I'll show you the second head that, I don't know if it's a different option. I think he's got two different models. He's got the regular one and the Pro one. And this one, let me put the handle down for a second, has the blade already installed. Oops. So the blade is already installed, as if maybe you could buy a package of these with the safety razor already installed into it, and that you don't use your own safety razor. But in this case, you do the same thing where you clicking on that one actually clicked on a little bit easier because it's all one piece. So that's the mechanism. That's how it works. I think it's a pretty good idea. I would change a couple maybe little things about when you're using your own blades to be able to. Let's try it this way. Let's try putting the blade on the handle first. Let's try that. It's got those two little circles that correspond with the little shapes in the razor blade. And then you take the top and just oh no, I think I've broken the prototype. There we go. I think maybe it's better if you do it like this. Make sure the blade is situated in there correctly. Yeah, Mike, I would recommend putting a couple more guides in there because the blade kind of moves around a little bit too freely in that, and I don't think it. I think the handle also doesn't quite give you enough of a guide to put it in. So let's try this again, like this. Yeah, all right. Seems to be better that way. All right, let's get shaving.
Okay, now we're back. Let's see how this thing shaves. I'm going to go ahead, instead of using the Pro one, you see, I think it's Pro. I'm not quite sure if this is the Pro or if the one where you load your own razor blade is the Pro. Anyway, I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to do what I normally would do. Let's take the top off and use one of my own blades. This time I'll be using the Feather Platinum, the sharpest razor blade in the world. And the thing about these Feather Platinums is, as opposed to the Israeli Personas that I had been using, is these little Japanese blades have like a wax dot. There's two wax dots in the package that hold the package closed. It's right there and right there. And so it's a little bit harder to get these things out. And I'm like, God, this is the sharpest razor in the world, and they make it harder for me to get it out. All right. Come on, wax. There you go. And then once you get those open, then you got to get the end pieces open. All right, there we go. Anyway, they want to make sure this thing does not fall out during shipment, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so let's take the Feather Platinum, place it gingerly, gently on top of the head of the Inscape Razor. There we go, it is in place, and I'll do the downward click. Let's get this in frame here. There we go. So there, my Feather Platinum is loaded and ready to shave. So there's the side view. Like I said, it's not adjustable. It's just however much blade is showing there on each side. Let's give it a try. All right, I'm gonna get some hot water on my face. I already took a shower. And then I've been letting my little Target brush soak. We're gonna use the old C.O. Bigelow again. And we're gonna skip the Barbasol today. We're gonna give it the real shaving treatment. How about that? I'm gonna put that on there like that. I kind of smear it around a little bit so I get some even, and I sprinkle a little bit more water on top. Start lathering. That's the key to getting a good lather that I see a lot of guys on YouTube that maybe are just beginning to shave with a brush, is they don't put enough water. And they get these really dry lathers that probably makes it harder to shave. So don't be afraid to use water on your brushes, gentlemen and ladies. All right. Oh, this is so exciting. The first try, the first pass with the Inscape Razor. Here it is. I'm going to get it wet. Here's what it looks like wet. And let's just start as I always do on this side. It's a noisy razor, you hear that? Because it's plastic instead of a hard metal. But it feels pretty gentle. It feels like it's doing something. It looks like it's doing something. It's got a really wide head on it. Let me look. Difference in, it's even fatter than a fat boy. Look at that. By at least half an inch. Interesting. All right, let's keep going. I'm using, even though it's a light handle, it's not real heavy. It's big and you get a really good grip on it. And I like that kind of matte texture. It's not slippery. It seems pretty sure. If you're new to double-edged safety razor shaving, you go down one side, then you flip the head over and go down the other side. This is the hard part, under the nose or above the lip, as they say in Europe. How to do this, Dana? Anyway, yeah, okay. You can hear the whiskers getting cut, can't you? Interesting. I'm not used to that sound because my, these heavy old vintage razors don't make much noise. But I guess it's like an audio indicator of how far down you've shaved your whiskers. Seems to be making a quick work. I'm using a real light touch even though it's a light handle because it's a very sharp blade. Those feather blades are sharp. All right, there you go. There's the first pass. And if I was in a hurry, I'd be done. But I'm not in a hurry. So let's put some more water on my face. Get some more water on the brush to kind of warm it up a little bit more. You can kind of, if you'd like to, you can get some of that lather from the bottom of the brush, put it on top. Whatever works best for you. That's the main thing about shaving. Anything that is this personal should be about what's best for you. Watch some videos, read some things, ask your dad, ask your grandpa, whatever, and then make it your own. Don't feel like you have to do exactly what someone else does or use exactly the same things, products that other people do. It's a very personal thing. You got to do it. I got to do it every day. I got to shave every day. And I've had a lot of requests for everyday shaving video series, which I'm not sure what that is. You mean you want to talk about shaving every day, or you want to see me shave every day? So in the second pass, I'm going to go across the grain and toward my center of my face. You can still hear there's whiskers left. Just taking them off, and then I go down again under the nose. So the Inscape Razor being made by this guy Mike, I looked everywhere, I couldn't find his last name. He wants some reviews, and he wants some backers, some financial backers to make it a reality so he can start selling this thing. And I think it's, with a little bit of tweaking perhaps, I think it might be a nice replacement for this kind of disposable cartridge, because it's kind of disposable because it's green. You could recycle. It's recyclable, but you're still using the double-edged safety razors. So now I'm going kind of slantways under my chin, and you can hear that there's still plenty of whiskers to be taken down. But to avoid razor burn, don't go over one area too many times. Don't press too hard. And just take it lightly and have a really good lather. Okay, there's the second pass. Getting pretty smooth here. There's like a little nick, a couple little nicks right there. And that is probably not from the razor. It's probably from that dang feather blade. Those things nick me more than any other blade I've ever used. They are sharp. I never got nicks with the Israeli Personas. But boy, these feathers, I get at least one. And they're not major, they're just like little tiny nicks. Put some more water in this sucker. I'll get one almost every shave. See, with that amount of, I don't like to use a bowl to make my lather. A lot of people do. But that's one less thing I have to clean, you know. I just wash out this brush and I'm done. But as I said, if you like using a bowl, if you have lots of time, and want to feel like a true gentleman, use a bowl, use whatever you want. Use oils, use fragrances, unguents, salves, whatever you want to do. All right, third time the charm with the old Inscape Razor. Starting to show, look, it's starting to get grungy. All right, let's go slightly up towards the ceiling. You hear that? It's not as much noise coming off of your face now when you're shaving. That's kind of an interesting thing. I don't know if you thought about that, or if it's just because of the material it's made out of, plastic, and kind of hollow. The handle feels like it's hollow. It doesn't feel light, like cheap. It's got a rigid kind of feel to it, but I assume it's hollow inside. And under the nose one more time. And sometimes I go, see a little nick there. Now I don't have an alum block or a styptic pencil, which allows you to stop the bleeding when you get little nicks like that. So I have to be one of those fools that walks around with a little bit of toilet paper stuck to his face until it dries up. And even then, sometimes I'll have the toilet paper on, thinking, okay, it's all stopped. Take that toilet paper off, it starts bleeding again. So my recommendation, get an alum block or a styptic pencil to stop the bleeding immediately. It burns a little bit, but yeah, you know. This part under my chin, along the jawline, is always the part that takes several different directional passes to do. So just figure out the way your hair grows on your face, just by feeling it, I guess, just from experience. There we go. I never do more than 3 passes, even if there's a little bit of stubble left. And there always is right here. Right here. It's probably different on your face. And right here is always a problem. And I have to get like up under and angle it so I can get right underneath the nostril. But it seems to have, the Inscape seems to have taken care of that pretty well, even though it's got such a huge head on it. Let's see if I needed to. Yeah, so maybe another design tweak I would make is maybe bring the head in just a little bit, you know, make it a little less wide. I think you got some room in there to work with. But that's it overall. And there's some right here. Let me just go ahead and... You don't want to do too much of this dry shaving without a... But if you do it super light, you should be okay. You shouldn't get razor burn. I still got that one little weeper right there. That's what they call it in the biz, folks. You see a weeper. I think, well, I'm not in the biz, but if anybody else has any cool new razor ideas, I'm going to rinse my face with cold water. Feel free to send them to me. I'll try them out, review them, let everybody know what it's like, the experience. And using cold water at the end kind of tightens up your pores, and it might even stop that little bleeding nick just with the cold water, and it feels good. All right, I'm washing out my brush now. Dry off my face. The magical towel from nowhere. All right. So, now the next part of the routine, as you all know, is the old Everyman Jack face lotion. Just put about that much on. That's how much I do. That's probably too much, but you know. Rub it all over. I saw an episode of Mad Men where Don Draper was shaving in an airplane on his way to California, and he started doing this. If you ever watch Mad Men before, it's a little self-loathing in that, but I think maybe it'll, I don't know what it does, but I started doing it just because I saw that. Macaulay Culkin. So there you go. That's the end. See that little, it's just a teeny bit. Okay, so just to show you, I know you've seen this before on your own dad, probably, TV shows. You get a tiny bit of toilet paper, or Kleenex, depending. And just stick it on there. There, and you look like an idiot for the next 30 minutes until you remove it. So I'm just going to leave it there. So anyway, that's the Inscape Safety Razor. It's a new concept. I think it's a pretty good idea. When I saw it and I was looking on his Facebook page, it's very simple. The thing I like about it is I prefer the butterfly razors because your hand doesn't have to get anywhere near the blade. You know, when you're putting it in, you just drop it in there. And see how that guide is so big? I would recommend. Let me show you what let me pop this off. I would recommend having a guide that's at least, see, he's kind of got those two little raised cylinders. I would maybe put in a little bit more of a guide to help keep that razor in place. If he's asking for that kind of feedback, I'm giving it to him anyway. I think it's a good concept. I think it could use a couple of tweaks. It feels good, it feels solid, it's got a good length to it. You can really grip it well. It seems to have done a pretty good job. Very good job. I didn't do anything different than I normally do. All the problem areas, like these parts and these parts under my jawline, always have stubble left, but this did a really good job. I don't have any razor burn. So overall, check this guy's Facebook page out if you're interested, or if you want to back it, or if, you know, maybe he'll send you a prototype if he wants more feedback from somebody besides me. So that's it. Thanks for joining me on this. And I wanted to say one more thing. You know, you see a lot of shaving videos where guys are wearing, you know, black t-shirts or three-piece suits when they're shaving. It's like, I get out of the shower. I'm not putting on a t-shirt to shave. But what I promise you is, you will never see man nips. Somebody commented on a previous video, thank you for not showing us your man nips. Well, believe me, I don't want to see them either. They're down there and they're going to stay down there. So, but I'm not going to put a shirt on to shave because I don't shave with a shirt on. But this is a man nip free zone. Thanks for joining me. Check out the Inscape Razor on the links below. And I'll see you next time with who knows what.